Hello there, Razzle48 here, talking to you about some BB tag speculation, I suppose. It's been forever since I've done a video like this. I moved into a new room in college, so it's been a real hassle just living. So it's been I've not really been in a position to record anything, but I am now. We're approximately 1 week before Arc System Works has declared that they will reveal the remaining 5 characters coming in the 2.0 content pack, which will be released this November 21st. As we all know, the first 4 are Neo, a Tank, Akatsuki, and Yumi from Summer Kagura. And so I am here to speculate, as I have done before, as to who I believe the remaining 5 characters are going to be. Now, you know, all of my previous speculation videos, I've had a lot of reasoning and I've had a lot more evidence for believing the things that I do, but I think right now is the point in time where we know the absolute least about, in terms of having verifiable evidence about what is to be coming. There are a couple pieces of evidence we have, but for the most part, this will be the first time that my guesses will be as blind as they are now. I'll give the reasoning for why I believe what I will, but just know that I'm definitely not as confident about these guesses as I have been in the past. So, the first piece of evidence is that in the trailer, in the Evo trailer where they revealed the first 4 characters, they did reveal the placing of the diamonds once they revealed the Akatsuki to be in the game, which I'll probably show on screen now. And as you can see, it looks like they're trying to form a bigger diamond made out of 9 smaller diamonds, which obviously means that we'll probably be getting 2 franchises in the future to be added to the game. Mori did state that he wanted 9 franchises to be in the game originally, so that would make a lot of sense. I'm not going to go into any speculation this video about what I think those 2 franchises might be, but I just want to point out that I do think that it's pretty clear that at some point in the future we will be getting 2 more brand new franchises added to the game. The second piece of evidence is this site right here. This is well, what site is this? ebtin.jp/arc. You can see Arc System Works' logo up here in the corner. This is a site where you can pre-order the special edition of BB Tag, which is basically BB Tag, but with all the DLC. You can see version 2 up there, and art with Yumi and Neo, and character pack 7 down here. And it'll have this poster and like sound box and whatnot. But the important thing here is this. It's a button set of all of the Blazblue characters that are currently in the game, DLC included, and we see that there are 2 secret buttons here, which means that there are going to be 2 buttons that we just don't know what they're going to be, that are going to be included in this set. And I think that this is a very obvious indication that there are going to be 2 more Blazblue characters. But most of you have probably heard about this by now. It has been floating around for a while now, but I think that this is the only solid piece of evidence we have as to a hint as to what is coming in this upcoming trailer of 5 characters here in about a week. So that's about the only lead we have, 2 Blazblue characters. I know some people saying, well, maybe they're just not, they aren't Blazblue characters, but it clearly says here Blazblue, and I believe this translates to pin set, 19 pins or whatever. Yeah, so 2 Blazblue characters. One of my friends pointed out that one of these might be Noelle's alternate costume. That might be included. And while that is slightly possible, I think that's really, really unlikely. So I will go forward assuming that we are going to get 2 Blazblue characters in the upcoming set of 5. I think that that is a very solid premise from which to base the remainder of my guesses. So now that that's out of the way, let's talk about the Blazblue characters, about who I think is going to come into the game. I'm mainly going to talk about who I think has a really, really good chance of coming in. I'm not going to go through every character's roster or say, well, it might be this or it might be that. I'm going to state like the like 5 or 6 characters that I think are the absolute most likely to keep an eye out for. So, right off the bat, number 1, Celica. Celica's the most important character in the story. She's like who is not in the game presently, and she has a moveset that would fit very easily into BB Tag, and And it's really unique to have like two characters in one like Celica is, but if you look at her mechanically, she's not a puppet character at all. She's just as much one solid fighting game character as like Ragna or Jin or anyone. And also, Celica is top 10 most popular Blazblue characters in general, and that will come up with a couple more of these picks as well. So I think Celica is the most likely. Next we got Kagura. Kagura is the second most important character in the Blazblue story, who is not in the game besides Celica right now. Kagura's moveset is very, very unique. I think that he'd be a very interesting addition to tag, and yeah, I know a Kagura player or two who would love to see him come in the game. I definitely think he's unique enough. I think he warrants a spot in the game, and it's just his overall general relevance in regards to Blazblue's story since his initial inclusion in Chrono Phantasma that I think warrants him a spot on this discussion list. I think Celica and Kagura are the two most likely characters. And I have two more characters who I think are really likely to get in. One of them is Hibiki, and originally, when I discussed which characters I thought were going to get into the game and the most likely and whatnot, I put Hibiki down as like a 2-star for chances to get into the game. When I did my initial speculation like a year and a half to 2 years ago, it's hard to believe it's been that long. And originally I said Hibiki could get in, but there's no way he's going to get in without Kagura. And I've kind of shifted that mentality a bit after Character Pack 7, where they gave us Seth, Naoto, and Teddy, which all had probably the biggest player bases out of any characters in their franchise that were not already in BB Tag. And this trend of them going after the most popular characters progressed onward in the Evo reveal, where they gave us Neo as opposed to Roman, because Neo is way more popular, even though Roman would have been a much more sensical choice looking at Ruby as a franchise and in terms of like the time period they're taking characters from and whatnot. So it's clear that character popularity is a really big deal to Arc System Works after Character Pack 6. Once they started evolving or planning to include more characters beyond the initial 40 that it looks like they had planned for the game to begin with. And they're taking that into consideration a lot when doing these picks. And Hibiki scored, and Hibiki was also in the top 10 most popular Blazblue characters. I believe he scored even higher than Celica. I believe Celica was 7th. Hibiki was either 6th or 5th or something, I believe. And Hibiki's really cool. He's Itachi Uchiha. He's got the clones, the crows. He's a ninja. His song is amazing. And yeah, I think his moveset would fit into tag real well. I think that of the 3 characters I've talked about so far, I think Kagura's moveset would probably fit in the least, but that's just because it's so unique. It's not as basic, I suppose, as Celica or Hibiki. So I think Hibiki could very possibly be chosen just for that fan popularity. He's definitely a lot more popular than Kagura, and judging from the trends of observing Arc System Works behaviors, since they've revealed Character Pack 7 and onward, I think Hibiki is very, very possible. And the last character I have here is Terumi. Now, I regret every day marking Terumi a 3 out of 5 for preference in my video. I don't think this character should be in the game at all, but he's very, 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 very popular and very, very easy to use. I'd personally say he's probably the easiest character in Central Fiction to use. So he'd fit very well into tag. A lot of people are vying for this character because he is quote-unquote the main villain. I won't go into that and why I think that Hazama being in the game invalidates that, but he is very popular. There's no denying that Terumi is very important to the story, and his moveset could easily fit into the game. So I think that even though we already have Hazama, Arc System Works, because Terumi's like the third, ranked 3rd. Hazama ranked 2nd on the poll, I believe. Terumi ranked 3rd. So it's very possible they may pick Terumi and include him in the game, even though we already have Hazama. So those are the 4 picks that I think are the most popular. Celica and Kagura, there's a lot more reasoning behind Celica and Kagura than Hibiki and Terumi. Hibiki and Terumi are more just characters with movesets that would fit really well into the game and who are backed by a ton of fan popularity. And I think that those reasons are enough to place them leagues above all the other characters in BB Tag. I do think that Celica and Kagura are the 2 most likely, but at this point I could see Hibiki and Terumi replacing one or both of these characters. So any combination of these 4 characters, any 2 of these, I believe, are the 2 that we could see revealed this upcoming Saturday. This upcoming Saturday, I believe, September 21st, I believe, is when they said that they are going to be revealed. Honorable mentions, just while I'm here, go to Bang and Tao, because Blazblue does not have a comic relief character yet, unless you want to count, like, Platinum or Makoto, I guess, but I don't count either of them. We have no character from the Lychee subplot right now, not Lychee, Arachne, or Bang, and Bang and Tao have both been in the game since the beginning, and I think that they fit an archetype of characters that are just not represented in from the Blazblue side in BB Tag, and I think that one of these 2, I mean, it's worth mentioning, because they're definitely more likely than everyone else, I believe, even though I don't think they're nearly as likely as the 4 already discussed. But each of them do have a unique moveset, definitely unlike anything else in BB Tag. So I just felt the need to mention them, but I definitely do think that the 2 we'll be getting are some combination of Celica, Kagura, Hibiki, Terumi. Now, let's move on to Persona. So, for Persona, it's no doubt that everyone is going to say Elizabeth is a shoo-in. I'm inclined to agree. I think she's the most likely character from any franchise to be revealed this upcoming Saturday. Elizabeth is the only character remaining from Persona 4 Arena, besides Shadow Labrys, who, like I've said before, won't make it in for obvious reasons, who has yet to be included in the game. So, I'll go into, like, the combinations of characters from other series that could get matched up together in junction with the 2 Blazblue characters to fit into this set of 5. But I think that Elizabeth is very, 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 very likely. The only way we're not getting Elizabeth is if this is the time that they decide to upgrade to Ultimax, which would make a lot of sense, because Elizabeth is the only one left who is not currently from Ultimax. And if they upgrade to Ultimax, it's very possible they may do 2 Ultimax characters to celebrate the upgrade to Ultimax. And if they do that, then I think that one pair is Junpei and Yukari. I think these characters would go hand in hand together. They've always gone hand in hand together. They were like, they've gone hand in hand together since the Persona 3 days. They went hand in hand together when Ultimax first got revealed. Junpei and Yukari were the first 2 characters to be revealed for that game, side by side one another. So I think that if they upgrade to Ultimax, they could just not include Elizabeth and include Junpei and Yukari to celebrate that. Also, I'm putting Risei, Minazaki, and Adachi up here. Just cut, because if they upgrade to Ultimax, they could do some combination of these 3 as well, of Risei, Minazaki, or Adachi. Adachi and Risei have a ton of popularity. Adachi, like, everyone wants Adachi. I think he may be the most vied for character to get in the game right now. I think he may have more fan popularity behind him than anyone else, which would make sense. I want Adachi too. I was originally under the assumption that Risei was not going to get into the game, and I still would think that if it's not for fan popularity. This is a recurring theme here. I really think fan popularity is a big factor in who these characters are going to be. So I think that if they leave Elizabeth out in favor of doing 2 Ultimax characters to celebrate upgrading to that, they could also do a combination of any of these 3, Risei, Minazaki, and Adachi. We could get Risei and Adachi, or Adachi and Minazaki, whatever. And, I guess I didn't talk about Minazaki. He's like the main villain of the Ultimax line. I think he's a real cool character. I'd love to have him in the game. He's real important. He's like the reason that entire story happened. So I think Minazaki is definitely worth discussing here. I don't think Junpei or Yukari would get paired with Risei, Minazaki, or Adachi. I think we're either getting Junpei and Yukari, or a combination of Risei, Minazaki, or Adachi. Unless they only give us one Persona character and we aren't upgrading to Ultimax, in which case it will obviously be Elizabeth. So those are my thoughts on that. So let's go on to Undernight, Hilda. It's simple as that. I have no idea why she's not in the game already. This is the most perplexing thing about BB Tag, is why Hilda's not, like, maybe they just, maybe because they decided to opt for Batista, they just didn't want 2 zoners, or maybe it's because story reasons. But now that Uni Clear is coming out and Hilda's still playable in that game, those story reasons of her not being able to fight anymore are out the window. So I think Hilda, for absolute certain, if we're getting an Under Night character, and we'll get into that in a minute. But if we're getting an Under Night character, I'm 99% sure it'll be Hilda. That other 1% is for Wagner, and they may include Wagner just to have another ST character in the game, because right now we only have Mika, who's just the comic relief of the franchise. And Wagner is very important to the story, true, not nearly as important as Hilda, but if they just want another ST character and Wagner's were cool, I really like her song, and her playstyle is super unique, especially considering, well, they put in Izuyoi instead of Tsubaki, who has the same weaponry as Wagner and has that same kind of sword and shield thing going on. But very, very small chance for Wagner, but I think Hilda, if we get an Under Night character, Hilda, definitely my guess. I want to think she's confirmed, but that's what I thought the previous 2 or 3 reveals, and we just didn't get her. And so I don't know what to believe in regards to Hilda anymore. So that's my thoughts on the matter. Ruby, I'm just throwing Roman up here. I don't think we're getting another Ruby character, but if we do, I think it's going to be Roman. Before Neo's reveal, I would have thought Roman is a lot more necessary than he is now. Some people think the opposite. Some people think now that we have Neo, we should get Roman because they pair so well together. I don't think so. I think Ruby's quota for a villain is filled now, and I think that Roman on top of, in addition to Neo at this point, would just be excessive. I don't think we need another Ruby character, at least not in this set. But if we do, I think it would be Roman. I can't see us getting Pyra right now, who would be my second pick, but I just can't see that at all, not at present. So if we get another Ruby character, my guess is definitely Roman. I can't see anyone else, but I don't see us getting a Ruby character at all for the remaining 5. So that. Arcana Heart. I think we may get one Arcana Heart character. I'm just putting the 3 most important ones up here: Saki, Weiss, and Scarlet Trotch. I hate this character's name. I can never pronounce it. But these are the 3 most important characters in Arcana Heart. I don't think any of them is any less or more likely to get in than any of them else. Maybe Scarlet Trot has a bit more chance because she's the villain and also plays very similar, or has at least a similar aesthetic to Hazama, except red instead of green. And we'll get into why I think Arcana Heart may get a second character here in a bit, but it would just be one of any of those 3. I don't have a reason for thinking any of them may be any more or less likely than the other. I just think we may get one of them. For Simmering Kagura, Asuka, I'd say Asuka is easily, if we get one, Asuka's obviously going to be the one. She was the one whose voice files were data mined alongside Yumi all that time ago before Character Pack 7 even got revealed. Asuka, I don't know. Honestly, I don't think we're getting another Simmering Kagura character this set either, just like Ruby. I think that, like, Ruby and Simmering Kagura already got their character for the set. If we get one, it will be Asuka, but I don't think we're going to get one. Basically, Arcana Heart, Ruby, and Simmering Kagura, in my mind right now, are all fighting for a spot in the remaining 5, and I think that Arcana Heart, given that Ruby and Simmering Kagura got a character in the pack of 9 already, has a much higher chance of getting a character in than them. So, yeah. Akatsuki, I don't think Akatsuki's getting any characters this pack. They already got 2, and the franchise just got introduced to the game, so that's that, short and sweet. And I do want to bring up the possibility of those other 2 franchises that I mentioned at the start of the video. I do firmly believe we're getting 2 more franchises. I don't think they're coming in this set, but because Blazblue seems to be getting 2 characters, I don't think that, obviously, they can't give 2 to one franchise and 2 to another franchise, because that'd be 6. And I think that they would divvy it up evenly if they decided to do that. And so either they're going to introduce franchise 8 and give it to 1 or 2 characters, or if they do franchise 8 and 9, they'd only give each of them 1 in the set. But I think both of those are very, very unlikely circumstances, but it is worth mentioning. So how do I think they're going to divvy this up? So no matter what they do, they are getting 2 Blazblue characters in. So 2 Blazblue characters, and that will set the standard for what the remaining 3 could be. So as previously stated, for Persona, if we get Elizabeth, then there'll be 2 spots remaining. One could go to Undernight to give us Hilda, and one could go to Senran Kagura, or not Senran Kagura, to Arcana Heart to give us Saki, Weiss, or Scarlet Trot. And, yeah, that's it. Like, it's very, very slightly possible we could get, like, Roman, or we could get Asuka, or we could get a singular character from Franchise 8, but I think these, again, are very, very unlikely. I think Arcana Heart is the most likely franchise to take this spot. I just think it is. And so, we get 2 Blazblue characters, so any combination of Celica, Kagura, Hibiki, or Terumi, and then Elizabeth, and then Hilda, and then Saki, Weiss, or Scarlet Trot. And, that's one combination. The other possible combination is if they went the Ultimax route and gave us either Junpei, 2 Blazblue characters of the previously mentioned 4, and then 2 Ultimax characters, which are either Junpei and Yukari, or any combination of Risei, Manasaki, Adachi. And if this happens, I think that we'd get Hilda and Arcana Heart would just get shafted. I don't think there's any way in this particular situation that Arcana Heart could get a character instead of Undernight. I mean, if they put a tank in the game, anything's possible. I know, I am aware of this, but I just can't see it happening. So, those are the 2 main things, the main routes that I could see them going. I don't, like, they could, like, if they put Franchise 8 in the game and give them 2 characters, then then maybe Arcana Heart could get one. But given that they're giving 2 spots to Blazblue, I don't think that they, like, neglect Persona and Undernight. Usually those 3 have gone hand in hand throughout BB Tag character reveal history. And it's so neat that we have history for reveals in this game. I love what this game has become. But those are my predictions. 2 Blazblue, and then Elizabeth, Hilda, and an Arcana Heart character. Or 2 Blazblue, 2 Ultimax, which are either Junpei or Yukari, or a combination of Risei, Manasaki, Adachi, and then Hilda. So, those are the 2 possible combinations that I think we could get. Tell me what you think we could get in the comments. Tell me your reasoning. I'm really interested in hearing the perspectives of everyone who may disagree with me, which happens very, very often. Considering that I don't want Terumi in, one of the most highly requested characters in. So, I know people disagree with me, but I'd love to see what y'all think in the comments, so I'm looking forward to that, and even more so to the upcoming reveal coming this next weekend. So I will be recording my reaction to that, getting that up as I always do, but until then, this is Razzle48 saying goodbye, and I will see you next time.